Email marketing is undoubtedly one of the most important parts of e-commerce, yet it is the point that 90% of founders completely ignore. They see this instant gratification by bumping up their ad spend and slowly see their 5 times ROAS shrink all the way down to a 2 times ROAS, and they still somehow think that this is a profitable and a very sustainable way of scaling their e-commerce brand, which this is obviously not true. 70% of e-commerce brands out there today rely solely on Facebook ads and Meta ads to propel their brand into the future, where realistically you are literally just renting space. The biggest companies and the best investors all know that data is where the real value holds. If you were to sell your brand in 10 years time and you had an email list with 2 million subscribers, your brand would be worth thousands times more than if you had an email list of say 10,000 subscribers. And the best part is, emails are so much cheaper than paid ads. They are literally a fraction of what you spend on Facebook right now, but you will see way better returns. Adding email marketing as a venture into your e-commerce brand shouldn't be this negotiable thing. Every brand needs it. In fact, the brands that I work with today wouldn't be able to stay afloat without email marketing anymore. Just to put it into perspective, when I start working with brands, they tend to have about 10 to 20% of attributed revenue from emails. After working with us, we can see this figure bump up to 40 to 50 to 60, one time even 70% of their total revenue is driven through Klaviyo and through email marketing. This figure seems pretty intensive, but when you factor in the flows, the campaigns, it actually starts to work out. So in this video, I'm going to break down 5 of the most popular flows that we implement in all of our clients' brands that you guys can implement today to start seeing some instant returns. These automated flows will literally help you go from 10 to 20% email revenue all the way up to 40 to 50 to 60% revenue. Alright, so obviously the first flow that we're going to dive straight into is the welcome flow. This is the one that most brands have set up just because Klaviyo lets you do it by default. But to be honest, the default Klaviyo flow is honestly embarrassing, and if you're still using that, that is honestly one of the worst images you can have for your brand. So when we're looking at the welcome flow, we're looking at 3 to 5 emails over a 7 to 14 day period. The periods really don't matter as much as you think. You just want to make sure they don't coincide with other flows you've got going on. So the purpose of this is obviously to convert visitors into first-time customers, to build trust, and to basically tell a brand story, to give the visitors a reason to turn into customers. The benchmarks we should aim for this is a 50% open rate, 10% plus click-through rate, and it should make up 10 to 30% of your total email revenue. Email 1 is sent immediately after someone signs up through the sign-up form. This is something like claim your discount / shop now, just a very clear call to action. The content should be like a brand introduction, a value proposition, and what makes you different to your competitors. And in terms of design tips, we want to not go overboard. We want to utilize real text, and this basically means don't design your emails in Figma and then take basically screenshots of the email in Figma and paste it into Klaviyo. You want to basically recreate the Figma design inside Klaviyo, and this is going to improve your deliverability so much. If you have no text or not much text in your email, Klaviyo and email providers are basically going to see your email as spam, and it's not going to get shown to nearly as many people as you want it to be. We don't want to go overboard with the copy. We never want to go overboard with the copy. We want to have one clear call to action throughout. Then we've got the second email, and this is sent 2 to 3 days after they signed up. And the call to action here is basically going to be see what our customers say. Our customers love it, so will you. The content here is going to be social proof, and this is in the form of reviews, UGC, press mentions. And by the way, if you've got an e-commerce brand and you've not got any press mentions already, I promise you will see such a big return on spend if you just do stuff like Vogue, GQ. I think it costs about £500 to get into a month's copy, but you can use that for another 6 months, and really you could use it for as long as you want because they're not going to be checking. Having that as seen on Vogue or as seen on GQ or whatever magazine is relevant for your brand is going to do you so much good. In terms of design tips, we want to include real customer photos, especially influencers, and star ratings for familiarity, and then one clear call to action at the start and one clear call to action at the end. Then for email 3, this is going to be 4 to 5 days after they originally signed up, and the call to action is going to be shop their favorites. And once again, we're going to lean into the influencer marketing side of things. People want to look like their favorite influencers, so if you can send out some pieces to your favorite influencers, Just including these in your emails is going to improve all of the metrics by tenfold. Influencers, favorite products, bestsellers, lifestyle UK use cases. Obviously, when you're getting started, you probably won't be able to do the influencer side of things, but just doing the bestsellers, the lifestyle use cases, just paying for UGC basically. Design tips, grid layout with product breakdowns, what makes each product special, what influencers like what products basically. Email 4, this is the final email for this flow on day 7. The call to action is your offer is running out, and the content is going to be an incentive or a reminder to use their welcome discount, and you could even increase their discount by 5% if you are struggling to hit these conversion metrics. Design tips, we want countdowns, we want bold statements, we want banners, we want bright colors, basically what's going to make them click that button and check out. The second most important flow that you set up when you're first starting emails is obviously the abandoned cart flow. This is going to be 2 to 3 emails over 48 hours after they abandon their cart. And obviously the purpose is to recover lost carts. The recovery rate we should be aiming for is 5 to 10%, and the click-through rate on the email should be 15 to 20% to allow that little drop off when they get on the website. The first email inside of here is going to be email 1 sent 1 to 2 hours after the cart abandoned. Call to action is going to be a very simple return to cart. Some people just honestly are too busy. They go on and do something else in their day. Maybe they're shopping while they're looking and then they've got to go pay at the checkout. Just something like that. It's a simple reminder. You show the product image, it's very clear call to action button, and it takes them directly back to the cart page. There's no need to include a discount this early on. That's just going to eat into your profit, eat into your revenue. There's no need to do it. Email 2 is going to be 24 hours after the original abandon. Chances are they've seen the first email and they didn't choose to take it. So what's the point of sending another email unless we have some kind of incentive or some kind of discount that's going to make them want to buy it? So the content is basically going to be overcoming the objections. And if you don't know what objections people are facing while they're looking at your brand, I really recommend you run a questionnaire email campaign, which is basically going to do something like get 50% off our products if you fill out this questionnaire. And your questionnaire should basically, one of the questions on there should be, what objections did you have before you first bought with us? Or if they've not bought anything from you, what objections do you currently have that's stopping you from buying from us? We can obviously include the 10% discount to drive a higher return, because they're not going to click on your second email if they didn't even click on your first email without a reason to. Design tips, we want an FAQ section, lots of trust badges, press mentions like I said, UGC and discounts. Email 3 is going to be 48 hours after the original cart abandon. The content is going to be scarcity, stock running low, or their exclusive offer expiring soon. The design tips are going to be a countdown timer and a bold headline. This is basically, like I said with the welcome flow, to make it stand out, to make people click it. Because people's heads are quite simple. Everyone's brain rotted anyway, so you might as well use these bright flashy colours when you need them. Another very simple email that I definitely recommend you set up is the abandoned checkout flow. This works very simple to the cart flow, but the recovery rate tends to be a little bit higher, because if they had that intent to reach checkout in the first place, that's going to be a higher intent to purchase than if they just added it to their cart. And this is once again going to be 2 to 3 emails over 48 hours. You will see a lot of familiarities between the abandoned cart and the abandoned checkout, just because the principle is kind of the same thing. You want to get them to come back onto the website and make a purchase. So obviously the purpose is to convert those who reached checkout but didn't complete. Benchmarks, the recovery rate should be 10 to 15% and above. It should be a little bit higher than the cart flow, just because they've already shown that intent, like I said. Right, so the first email is going to be 1 to 2 hours after they abandoned their checkout, and the call to action is going to be very simple: complete your order. Content should be a reminder and a saved checkout link, just to make it a little bit easier so they don't have to go and search up your website. You know what I mean. Design tips, show the order summary very clearly, break down a very simple checkout experience. Then email 2, this is going to go out 24 hours after they abandoned the checkout. Call to action is pretty much going to be secure your purchase. Content's going to be a lot of trust, payment security, return policy, FAQs, UGC, all of that kind of stuff. Design tips, include familiar badges, terminology, and stuff like that to make the customer feel safe, feel at home, so they don't feel scared to enter their payment details, basically. And the email 3 is going to go out 48 hours after. It's going to be a very simple call to action. Still want this? Content should be some light urgency, and you add in that discount offer too. Design tips, minimalist layout with one direct checkout button. Then email 4, this is the final email for this flow, 72 hours after the original abandonment. Call to action, your offer is about to expire. Very easy, very quick value proposition. The incentive, it's a reminder to use their checkout discount, and you can even increase their discount 5% to drive a better conversion if you are struggling on this side of thing. Design tips, countdown, bold statements, banners, all of that kind of stuff. Like I said, you don't want to include this kind of stuff on every email, but on the emails where you're strictly trying to give them a last chance to shop something, last chance to check out, last chance to use a discount, this is when you want to use it. This is a flow that most brands don't have. They just tend to use the default Shopify ones, the ones where it's like, your order's been fulfilled. And then 10 days after, it's like, leave a review, ? No one actually cares about the default Shopify ones. You need to put some personality into your post-purchase flow. This is going to be 3 to 5 emails over 14 to 21 days, 2 to 3 weeks. This is to reinforce purchase, reduce returns, which is what I see a lot of e-commerce brands doing wrong. All of their post-purchase flows are to reinforce purchases and to increase repeat sales, but no one focuses on reducing returns. And returns are going to really eat into your profit when you're beginning. So the repeat purchase rate should be 5 to 10%, and the review submission rate should be at least 20%. Email 1 is going to be straight after they purchased. You're in the community, you just joined a community of 30,000 runners, something like that. It's going to be an order confirmation, a founder thank you, personalized founder thank you, and a welcome into a community of however many. Design tips, we want to keep it simple, transactional with the branding. Use light UGC to make the customer feel welcome. You need to make them feel like they're in this club, that their purchase has kind of got them into this club that they wouldn't have been in if they didn't make that purchase with you. Then the second email is going to be 3 to 5 days. It's basically going to be a call to action, something like learn how to use, learn how to care for it. And this is the one that most brands miss out. It's going to be tips, it's going to be guides, it's going to be tutorials. And the reason is to reduce the return rate. And this is so important when you're first starting, like I said. Design tips, we want infographics and a short video. This could be you as a founder. That honestly performs so much better than anything else. Then the third email in the post-purchase flow is going to go out 7 to 10 days after their purchase. Leave a review and share your experience. This is going to be a UGC request, which again, I don't see many brands doing. A review collection in return for a discount or digital product. Keep it very simple. They should be able to click the link on your email, upload it, and then receive the digital product, receive the whatever they're getting, the discount, whatever, something like that. Keep it very simple. Don't make them write you an email and then you respond to them a week after that. Keep it very simple, keep it automated. Email 4, and this is the final email for this flow, is going to go out 2 to 3 weeks after their purchase. And this is going to be a very simple cross-sell, upsell. Call to action is shop compliments. Show how they relate, how your kit isn't complete without the other, how one thing doesn't work to its fullest potential without the other. And the fifth flow that I recommend you adding in is the win back flow. This is going to be 3 to 4 emails over 2 to 3 weeks. And this is once again something that nobody talks about. And this is going to be to reactivate lapsed customers that basically haven't interacted with your emails in a while. Reactivation rate we should be aiming for is 5 to 8%, and it's basically to get a revenue list from an existing dormant list. The email 1 on day 0 is going to be see what's new. Content is going to be new arrivals, press mentions, activations, founder updates. It's going to be very fresh design, new collections, showcases, all of this kind of stuff that's going to make someone think, oh, I remember this brand. Because basically, if they're in this dormant list, they've not interacted with any of your emails. They've not opened an email in 90 or 180 days. So you're basically going to try jog their memory and impress them with what your brand's been up to while they've not been watching. Then email 2, this is going to be on day 5, call to action, claim your reward. It's going to be some kind of incentive, some kind of discount, some kind of loyalty points that they've claimed over this 90-day, this 180-day period that they can now come and spend on your store. It's going to be a very bold call to action button and utilize as many trust factors as you can. Because remember, this dormant list are the least likely to purchase one of your things. So you need to kind of offer the best discount you can to try and get them from a dormant customer into an active customer. Email 3 is going to be going out on day 10. The call to action is going to be don't miss out. The content is going to be scarcity, community angle. Others are loving it, so you will too. Design tips, UGC, as I said, social proof, influencer mentions. Influencer marketing is such a simple concept. You send out products to an influencer, you pay them money, and they send you content in return. And this can be used on your ads, this can be used on your emails. It's honestly one of the most important concepts of e-com. Then on day 4, this is going to go out 2 to 3 weeks again after they've been added to this list. And the call to action is going to be a very simple, you there? And this is something that some brands might not want to do if you've got a very small email list. but it's also a very important thing if you're limited on terms of budget. And the content is going to be a sunset warning. And if you don't know what a sunset list is, it's basically a flow where it allows the user to unsubscribe, or you forcibly unsubscribe them, because they're basically wasting your money. You keep sending them emails. You've probably at this point sent them around 100 emails and they've not opened one. They've completely ignored them. So there's basically no point of you having them on their list. It's just costing you money to send them that email or to send them that SMS. So you're basically warning them that if they don't interact with one of the emails, they will get placed on the sunset warning, which is basically an unsubscribe, which is basically to unsubscribe inactive mailboxes. And in terms of design tips, you want to make this like person to person. You're like, hi name, I'm Oscar, I'm the founder. I'm just wondering if you have any interest in our brand anymore. Just something like that. Obviously, spice it up. But you want to be very authentic, very plain. You want to make it seem like you personally wrote to them, because that's the only reason that would make them respond after ignoring all your other emails. So hopefully you will get responses to this. Hopefully they will check it. And then if they don't, you move them over into the sunset flow, which we're going to talk about in the next video. And this is basically going to save you so much money, because you won't be sending out emails, pointless emails, to these mailboxes that do not care about you. Well, that is it. Those are the 5 flows that you need to implement tomorrow. Fuck that. Today, if you want to see some instant returns on your ad spend, if you want to boost your brand from just this ad spending machine, from this machine where if Facebook were to remove your brand on Facebook, you're fucked. You need to turn your brand into more of an actual brand, not just this ROAS machine. All you care about is Facebook ads. Oh, meta ads. You need to kind of diversify your assets. You don't want all your eggs in one basket, because you're basically renting space. And one day your landlord might kick you out. Adding in emails, adding in influencer marketing, and growing your brand on social media single-handedly is the most important part of e-commerce. It takes you from this drop shipping-esque brand into an actual malleable brand. If you have any kind of motivation or exit strategy in the future, you need emails. You need that fat email list, because it will add so much value to your company. If you want more free source on how to grow your e-commerce brand through email marketing, drop me a like, hit that subscribe button, and join the Discord community below. Also, if you are interested in having my team handle emails for you, you can also book a call below. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.